12, 2007. This is Matthew, and this is MacNTalk. And we are here again with Daniel. We're doing a little remote podcast. Hey, Dan.
Hello. I am remoting.
Yep, we're doing some remote thing. What'd you think of Macworld?
That iPhone thing was pathetic.
Yeah, they released a bunch of garbage again, didn't they?
I know. You know, if they could ever come up with one good product
and something unique.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's pathetic with those people.
They need to quit copying everyone.
Yes. You know, if they could ever just break new ground, come out with something new, it'd be refreshing, really.
Oh, you know what? I just realized this is MacNTalk, not Microsoft.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no.
So we need to change gears.
See, I thought the iTV or the Apple TV, was really, really super cool. I really liked that a lot. The iPhone was just amazing. That's like Star Trek kind of technology. I mean, I was blown away by how cool that was.
It really was. At first when I was watching, because, we're geeks and we sit and watch the Mac Rumor text messaging thing go by and refresh every 60 seconds with pictures next to it. And if you haven't seen that, check that out when they have a keynotes. It's pretty cool. And then later on, you can watch the keynotes
it's at Mac Rumor's website.
Yeah. And but when the iPhone came out, I didn't get the shock and awe of the feeling of it. I went, okay, there's a phone. Okay. I was almost waiting for something more to come out, but then they started listing everything that it did, and as I was reading it, I went, well, you know what? This is really kind of a unique phone. I mean, this is far superior. It sounds like it's far superior over anything I've ever come in contact with or even imagined myself. And then when I watched the keynotes, it kind of, put that in stone. It was like, my God, this is like nothing I've ever seen before. It's like a little mini computer in my pocket. And, though it's $600, a lot of money, but when you break it down, I mean, it's right about at the market.
Yeah, and another thing that you got to think about that thing is that it's not done. That thing is 6 months off. That thing was a very rough version of it. I mean,
right.
It's going to really mature. I mean, they have a long time to mature.
Right.
Till when it comes to market in June. I mean.
Well, here's my belief. Here's my belief with the iPhone and even the Apple TV. First of all, they're going to have to change the name iPhone. Cisco's suing them, giving them a hard time. They're not going to be able to use the name. Which iPhone, that's a cool name. It goes with their whole i thing. But now that they've changed their name, since they've changed their name to Apple, not Apple Computer, they can vary the names a little bit. And just like they did the iTV turning into Apple TV, it's going to be Apple phone is what it's going to be.
Sure.
Which is still very cool because, Apple. But I believe that in 6 months you're going to see the release of Leopard, and my gut feeling is that Leopard is going to encompass a heck of a lot more than just an updated operating system. I think that it's going to encompass their whole Apple TV, their whole digital hub, their whole iPhone, their whole Apple phone, whatever. I think it's going to encompass it and be a lot more of a part of those items that are going to make the demand, the demand for Leopard to go up. And, you can use the Apple TV or Apple phone separately, but if you use it with Leopard, it's going to be a whole different experience. And I just have a feeling. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It may just be another upgrade with some cool features to the operating system, but I just have a feeling there's a reason why they're waiting, and there's just a general feeling I have that Leopard is going to be a lot bigger deal than just a version 10.5.
Yeah, I can see that it coming together. It certainly has taken them a long, they're really taking their time with this one that they didn't do with the other ones, because it would go. I mean, I don't know, one Jaguar to Tiger. I mean, they kind of made a big deal out of it, but it wasn't so big as Leopard. Leopard is really,
Right.
they're making a huge deal out of this.
Right. It seems like they're taking a little bit longer, and they're not being foolish by just trying to release it as well, which is nice.
Yeah, well, they, just the whole, like I said, I like, everybody's just a buzz with the phone. I really liked the TV thing. I thought the TV thing was cool. I mean, that's something I could see really using in my house and putting it to use.
I agree, and at first I was again with that. I was like, well, $300. To me, $300 seemed like a lot just for a little wireless device.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I started reading about it, and I realized that it has an Intel processor in it, and that it has a 40 gig hard drive in it, and a remote control, and it has 802.11 in, and on and on. And I'm like, okay, well, $300 is a bargain at that point. And
yeah, them coming out with the N was a big deal to me. I thought that was huge.
Oh yeah, I mean, I look at it as this: Cisco, who's going to be suing Apple for the name iPhone. I think one of the best things that they could do is say, you know what, Apple, you have iPhone, because what that does is, but we'll trade technology. You use iPhone, it's yours. But what we want in return is we want to produce your 802.11n, because that's the next stage of wireless. And that would be the best choice. That would be the best bet for both companies. But I have a feeling Cisco can't get that to the consumer level like Apple. Without Apple, Cisco can't do it. And without,
Cisco's already put out some kind of little phone, a little Skype phone.
Well, no, I'm not talking about just the phone. I'm talking about the technology of 802.11n. I think that the person that you would think would do it would be the Cisco and the Linksys. They would be pushing the in, and it would already be in most houses, and it would already be a mainstream. But the people that are doing it are Apple. So really, Cisco could benefit from Apple, just like Apple could benefit from the iPhone name. So they really should just be working together versus, trading technologies and trading for the name, versus, I'm going to sue you because, you're using our name for this piece of crap little phone that is kind of useless for everybody.
They have envy.
Right.
They have massive Apple envy, I think.
I mean, they have to sue them, but nonetheless, I think that the ITV is very cool. I think that it would be something that would be. I particularly like the fact that you can hook up, stream up to 5 different computers. That to me is huge, because I have 4 computers that have various media on it, and if my wife decides to download a movie or a show or what have you, we can share it and stream it to a central location.
I see. I thought that was awesome that you could go to, from different computers in the house,
Right.
I thought that was great. The music or whatever's on them, and everybody's got these great sound systems now connected to the
Right, to the TV system.
Yeah,
to the home theater.
Surround sound, that whole thing.
Yeah.
So, I think it's killer. Killer.
No, I agree, and the fact that it'll download your top 5 unwatched shows will download to the hard drive and be readily available for you there. It's just neat. I mean, I think that I've talked to several people about it, and of course, they're not Mac people. They just kind of go, well, I don't see a use for that. Well, that's for one, because they're idiots, and two,
nice.
And for 2, there will be a use for it. I mean, it's a full integration into your whole system. The biggest problem I've always had is that we have these great networks, and we have the internet that does basically nothing most of the time. We how many times we're on it, we shoot an email back and forth, we do, we search the internet, we complain how slow it is, but for the most part it's not doing anything most of the time. So it's not a very cost-effective service. So when you have the ability to download a show that'll download, I'm sure you're going to be able to time it. It's not going to just be a manual thing. You'll be able to time a download of a show of some sort. You're getting use out of your internet now. You're not even on it, but you're using it.
Yeah, I can see that. One interesting thing that I read about is, you know how they came out with, and he made a mention of the iTV or Apple TV about 6 months ago. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
And then, and that was such a strange thing because Apple never does that.
Well, they've done it twice now.
Well, and now they did it with the phone, and I found out why. Do you know why? Or
I don't know why. I'm
curious. I found out why. It was very interesting to me. It has to do with FCC regulations and the kind of devices that they are. It's a phone, and it has to do with the FCC, and that to get the licensing, you have to make it publicly known or whatever 6 months ahead of time.
Oh.
So that's why it just happened to be now, and when is it going to be out? 6 months from now.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and it has to do with FCC regulations. That's why they're announced. It was a big push to announce it now. That's why they talked about ITV 6 months ago, and now they released it.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So that means basically they're 6 months ahead of anybody else.
And that's different from normal.
At a minimum, at a minimum, they're 6 months ahead because if they release it now, it takes 6 months.
Well, again, I go back to, and that's different from always how.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I agree.
In what way is this different from the usual state of Apple?
Right. Well, here I want to mention something with GarageBand because we're, of course, using GarageBand to record the podcast. Is every time I talk, a picture is displayed in the. I don't know if you've used GarageBand, Dan, but at the top there's a podcast track that you can put in photos and have it change along the way. Well, every time I talk, my little iChat icon basically displays while I'm talking, and then when you talk, your little fairy eggs or whatever the blue eggs, they're displayed, and so it goes back and forth between. So if you had your picture, I had my picture along in the podcast, it would show your picture when you talked, it would show my picture when I talked. Isn't that cool?
That is amazing.
Very nice. That was cool because I kept seeing it. I kept seeing mine show up, and then yours show up, and then mine show up, and yours show up, and I'm sitting there going, "What the hell's the matter with this thing?" And I realized, oh well, it's when whoever talks the loudest basically gets their picture shown.
Well, really?
Like,
bastard. So the phone was amazing though. I read a thing by what was it? This guy named David Pogue. I read an article, but he wrote about it, and he actually got to, at the day of the, there at Macworld, he actually got to go in there with Jobs and play with it for like an hour. And I guess he was like the first non-Apple person to play with it.
How do you get that job?
He's a writer for the Times, New York Times.
I know, but I'm a podcaster, and so are you.
I just don't think that pulls the same weight as the New York Times, man. I'm sorry, but yeah. I know it should.
In my opinion, it certainly should. I mean, come on.
In my universe, I am far more important than the New York Times. But so anyway, he got to play with the damn thing. And he was saying it was really just that cool. The interface was really bitchin'. It was just amazing the way it worked. But he did say this. He said that it wasn't done. He said there were icons on that damn thing that were just JPEGs. There was nothing behind them. It was like,
I believe that.
Yeah, I mean, like, there was stuff that so it was very scripted. As of all our Jobs, all of his things. I mean, he's always, he he's not flying by the seat of his pants up there. I mean, he knows
Oh
what's going
no,
on.
you know what? In fact, I realize that he totally practices before the whole event, and he, that he has his notes, and I mean, it's a show.
Yeah.
It's a show, and he puts on a great show, and he yeah, we don't need to get into all that, but I mean, he does a great.
You want to marry him, don't you?
I do. I want to have his babies. Oh,
what else did they have at Macworld? I mean,
well, here's one thing that I noticed. I noticed that what he said, I think it was what Jobs said, was that in the next 6 months they released only 2 things, and or maybe I read an article, and what was said in the Mac conference is that in the next 6 months we're going to have lots of things. The only reason why they did the 2 was because in the next 6 months they're going to have a lot of upgrades, or they're going to have a lot of items that release the market, whether it be software or so. I'm curious to see what happens. That may be when they release iLife 07. It may be in a month or 2 once and it would be very smart also because it'll keep their stock high until the release of the iPhone.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't add anything to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't even try.
I think you pretty well just said what you had to say there.
Yep. More of a statement than a question.
Yeah, I gotcha. I don't know. I mean, there were only 2 things. I remember, when we did our little guessing,
Yep.
predictions.
Yep.
I think I was right about some stuff, and I was wrong about some stuff. I was pretty sure they would do some bumps to the Mac Pros. They would do some speed bumps, or maybe get the little octa. They didn't do that at all. There was no speed bumps of anything.
No.
I think we were saying that I was saying the phone would come out, but only if it had a carrier, and that was the case. And what was the other thing? Oh, iTV would come out, and that was going to be killer. And there's something else I was wrong about.
I was wrong about a lot of stuff. I was wrong about Leopard.
Oh yeah, I was right. I was right about Leopard.
You were right about Leopard. Wrong about software upgrades for Logic and iLife. I was wrong about. I was wrong about everything except for the 2 things that came out. I mean, we were in agreement of with the iPhone and the iTV, and that definitely happened. So, well, that's interesting to know about the 6-month deal.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? I thought that was very interesting when I heard that. It was so obvious then, and that was something that even the people who said it, they said it was very much a thing like, oh my God, I can't believe we overlooked that.
Right.
They were talking about it. I think I forgot what it was. Something I was listening to, whatever it was, but.
That's funny.
Or reading or something.
Like the most obvious thing that we overlooked.
Yeah, it was.
And they got us. They snuck it past us.
Yeah, it was just too obvious, I guess. Everybody's, trying to be sneaky about it, and what's he trying to do now? Because of course, Jobs is so sneaky.
Right. Well, I want to say something about the iPhone versus other things. I've been trying for about the last 3 days to hook up a Samsung Blackjack to the network, to my network at work, with the Exchange server. Sounds like it'd be real simple, wouldn't it? I mean, you just need you need authentication, so you need username and password, and you would need probably the Exchange server IP address. Yeah. No. No one knows how to make it work. You have to download software to your computer. You download software to the machine. You download. I mean, it is such the cumbersome process. And I just when I see the iPhone released, I just think thank you, because you know what? I'm going to get one. Sooner or later I'm going to get one, whether it's in 6 months or a year or whatever. I know I'm going to get one because,
You're a geek like that.
I'm a geek like that, and anything that's easy to use that I can benefit from, I'm going to want. And I'm lucky that I get to experience other equipment other than Apple, because it makes me appreciate what Apple does. I mean, honestly, it does. It makes me look at the Samsung. Great, they'll sell 1 billion of them. Why? Because people don't know any better. They think, oh, look at this, great, and just like Steve Jobs said, the little plastic buttons that you don't need for everything you do. It's a Windows-based, start button, and it's such a cumbersome device. And so I'm excited about the iPhone. I'm excited about the iTV and the iPhone.
Yeah, it's true what you're saying though about you actually use the other products, because I never do.
Right.
I only use Mac products. Even I'm lucky enough at work to be able to just use Macs, and so yeah, I don't know. So
yeah, one of the biggest things for me is one guy at work had a problem with his computer because he was a local administrator, and he got a virus based upon that. It basically went in and screwed up the spooler and blah, 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 blah. Well, that's the difference between MicroStupid and Apple, is that Apple's root, which is the god of the user accounts, is disabled. It's not active. So you can't fully destroy everything on your computer. Whereas to do anything in Microsoft, you have to have full admin. You have to have the full root access, which you can just totally destroy everything. And there's some partial truths. I take that back. In Apple, I'm sure if there's a virus that would screw up your machine based on just the admin rights for that. But I don't know that for certain. But what I do know for certain is on the flip side, on Windows XP, which I'm sure they're changing in Vista, is that you're vulnerable out of the box. You install it, you're an admin, you're vulnerable. And you can totally screw up and make your life miserable. So today I was like, thank you, Apple. Thank you for being smart enough to not just make yourself wide open.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I should thank Apple more often, but I don't.
I do. I'm very appreciative. I'm very appreciative.
I'm just so spoiled, my little spoiled rotten life.
Yes, you are. Well, and I think it's hilarious to talk to, personally. I talk to people at work regarding Apple, and they're so ignorant. They have no idea what they're talking about, and they're okay with the products that they use. And I think to myself, you have no idea. You just have no idea, and you're not willing to explore anything else because of what you've heard. But yet, what they've heard lately is me telling them how great the product is.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going on some past nothingness that Microsoft is better and Apple is not as good and they're more expensive and so on and so forth. And I have time and time conversation. This is not what this podcast is supposed to be about, but time and time we have conversations with people, and they're talking about, oh, what antivirus do you use? Oh, well, I use this at work, but I don't use anything at home. Okay, well, I'll ignore that because I'm stupid. So it costs $100 for the subscription. Oh, okay. What kind of spyware do you use? Anti-spyware. Well, at work we have this. At home I don't use any. Oh, well, I'll ignore that because I'm stupid. So that's going to cost another $200. So now I'm at $200 a year. What's it cost for this? What's it cost for this? And pretty soon you're at to make sure your system is okay, it's $250 a year. Versus, I don't do anything to my Apple. It works, And so it's just like, so how is it more expensive if I have a yearly cost to maintain and to protect versus over here I don't pay anything?
It doesn't make any sense, huh?
Yep.
I don't know. I just don't even talk to people about it anymore. I guess I'm not being the salt of the Apple earth or anything, but
right.
I'm so sick of talking to people. People just don't get it. They don't.
Right.
But for me, they go to the CompUSA, and there's the kids standing there making all his minimum wage and telling them, no, you don't want one of those. You want this compact. And,
right.
They believe it. So.
Well, I actually get a kick out of it because if anyone asks me, they don't ask me anymore, really, because all I do is start preaching Apple. It's like, what? I was thinking about getting a laptop. Oh, buy an Apple MacBook. I said, oh, what if I didn't want to buy that? Well, it doesn't matter. If you don't want to, it doesn't matter what you get because they all suck other than the one I'm telling you. So if you choose not to listen to what I'm saying, why am I going to invest my time to talk about a product I know sucks?
Well, my mother-in-law, I actually, she went and bought a PC, and I told her, I said, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to help you with it.
Right.
And she keeps, my printer doesn't work, and my this doesn't work, and okay.
I like when I plug in my laptop and I'm in the other room and I look and I go, rendezvous. There's a printer right there. Print. Yeah, it's printed. I didn't even do anything. I don't even know how the hell I got that on there. But you know what? It's there for me. Print. That's printing.
It's great to be so perfect.
Well, it's the closest thing too, that's for sure.
No, I was talking about me.
Yeah, so was I. So, anyway, let's wrap this up just because we're kind of going on our tangents. This was a follow-up to the previous Mac and Talk regarding our guesses for the Mac world, and I think all in all, I'm pleased with the results of what came out. They're two products I'm more than interested in, and I know that I'll end up with sooner or later.
Yeah, I think they're great. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's almost like it's all been said. I mean, you saw the phone. It was killer. I mean, the features that phone had just completely blew me away. I love the stylus thing.
Oh, I know.
Who wants a stylus? Because when I think I had a handspring device years ago.
Yeah, me too.
And one of those damn things, and it just
And you peck at it. You peck.
Yeah. I don't talk about it.
No.
It brings back bad memories.
Waste of money. It's so frustrating. I mean, and the iPhone is going to be something I would use. I need a phone. I have an iPod. I would sell my other iPods or, give them to someone else. I use iPhoto. I use video. I use this. I use that. It would be a product that I would actually use. It wouldn't be just like another phone that has features that I wouldn't use. Packed with features and so miserable to use them that you use you spend $300 on a phone or $100 or $50 on a phone with all these features as selling points, and you only use it as a phone. So.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. It just looks like it has the usability to make a lot of that stuff just usable.
Right.
That sounded stupid, but you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. That's exactly I was talking to someone else. Well, they already have that technology. Okay, I said, okay, your phone. What do you use it for? Well, I use it for a phone. And I said, oh, and does it have like a media player or yeah, I think it has like iTunes on it. Oh, it has iTunes on it. And do you use it? No. Well, okay, so it's not usable. It's obviously there's some part missing that, the technology's there, but it's not usable. And, it has email too. Oh, is it set up? No. Okay, well, so then there's another one. Does it have internet? Yeah. Okay, so you use your phone. You have all these great features that you're bragging about is already out there, and they're not usable. So it's not usable, so what's the point?
Yeah.
Just to say that you have it?
We have gotten off an old bitch session here, haven't we?
Yeah. I just think people are. I'm predicting that Apple, with everything I'm reading and all the products that I've seen released, Apple is going to start becoming a monstrous force in technology. I think that they're going. As always, they come out with better products, but I believe Steve Jobs is right. This is history. I mean, they're going to start pushing people. They're going to start pushing the industry. And people are going to want Apple products. They're not going to want second best. And that's a big thing. Why do you want second best? Oh, look, this is a couple dollars cheaper. Oh, I saved $50. Yeah, but it's a horrible product in the long run.
Now, what is my little thing I always say? I always say, a Ford and a Mercedes will get you to the same place, but I'd rather drive the Mercedes.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
They do roughly the same thing, but I think I got something here you might like to see. Anywho.
Yeah.
The lovely, lovely stuff, and amazing, lovely, and beautiful, and all that.
And beautiful. Okay, well, let's wrap this up. And this is MacNTalk.
Hey, wait.
What? You got a picture?
Take a look at your computer.
Hold on, this is taking me a second because I'm slow that way. I don't see it. What the hell? Hey, I like it.
Yeah, I did that while we were sitting here talking. I was playing around and came up with that.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Well,
anyway, but we're done now.
We are done, and
I'm going to be much more prepared for the next one.
Yes.
Little factoids and things like that.
Yes. And I know it's going to be harder. You're getting back in school, and that's going to be harder for you. And my wife's getting back in school. It's going to be harder for me. But we need to.
But this
plan it out.
Yeah, we'll be able to do it.
And we'll see how this sounds remotely, and see how we want to move forward.
All right. Well, goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. This is MacNTalk. If you need to get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us at MacNTalk@gmail.com. That's MacNTalk@gmail.com. And we'll talk Mac later.